Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'll be sharing my testimony with you. Why I'm doing this is because I told God that if He delivers me, I said if He delivers me from this, I would let the whole world know that yes, Jesus does deliver people and He's still in the business of delivering people. Because when I was going through these trials and tribulations and everything, whenever you speak to people who tag themselves Christians, all they will tell you was that the problem I was going through, then you should go fetish. And I'm someone I believe that if you're following Jesus Christ, following him 100%, 101%, we don't do Jesus plus anything. And I didn't understand why, if we say God is all powerful, almighty, he's the almighty God, why it was taking him time to deliver us. So this is it. I used to struggle. God delivered me from the hand of a water spirit, a spirit spouse, what you guys call, or people call a spirit husband, right? I'm just going to try to summarize it because this is something I struggle with for more than 20 something plus years. I think from childhood, if possible. Yeah, from childhood. So I'm just going to try my best to cut it off. I don't want this video to be longer than 10 minutes. So what I recall now from where this started from was during my childhood, I used to have a lot of sexual dreams. I'll see like grown people having sex, um, a whole lot of nasty things. I used to see a lot of perverted things, right, in my dreams. But as a child, like 3, 4 years, 5 years old, you wouldn't even recall, and most of those, like, you won't know that was a sign, or that was showing you something. So it was constant. The older I got, then it became more. And what I started noticing was that whenever something good was supposed to come, or I'm expecting something, the moment I have that dream, it won't come. I know some people don't believe in it, that's fine, but this is what happened to me. It won't come. And I started praying a lot because I didn't like it. It was like someone would come and defile you almost every night. I didn't like it. I prayed, I fasted, everything. So fast forward a few years back, I went back to Nigeria. My mom went to a church to pray. Pastor was prophesying. I said, go to Mountain of Fire, the one closest to you. I came to my church, and when I reached there, the first thing we're praying, and they just told me that there's a spiritual marriage in your family. And I'm looking at them like, what is that? So I didn't even I don't think about those things. I never, I thought the man was lying, but then again, I'm like, why should he lie about such a thing, right? Why would he lie about such a thing? So, we started prayers. I became a member. I didn't like the church because the way they used to tie their scarf and they dress like old people, and I was someone who liked dressing. I like, and it's look good. I'm not about exposing yourself, but you tie your scarf every day and all those things. So because of that, I left the church. I came to look for the church first, left, came back again. Like God was telling me to come back. I think it was the third time that I finally came before the pastor told me all those things. He didn't even go into detail, he just told me that, and we started prayers, fasting. Then I decided to really focus on God and follow God 101%. Start following him, start living a righteous life, cut off certain things, certain movies, certain things that would um invoke lust or lustful thinking. Not everything you watch, guide the gates of your eyes. I started doing those things. Then we started doing deliverance. So if you know Mountain of Fire, you know that we do a lot of deliverance, prayers. And the most annoying thing is that after a major deliverance, that's when this thing will come. It will just make you feel so useless, like all the prayer and fasting you have done has just been destroyed. So it will just make you feel so useless, like all the fasting and prayer you have done has is just a waste. It will sometimes be so bad. I'll have dreams whereby like this spirit or this spirit power demon would come and beat me. There was one I had some time back, was telling me I was married to him with children. I'm like, from where to where? Ah, there go. But it was constant defilement even when you didn't want that. And at some point it's very discouraging. I thank God for good friends that I had, like Shukwu and other people that would tell things like that. Even though they had their own struggle, they would encourage me that God is faithful. So last year, yes, I told myself that something will stop. I can't be a Christian and still be struggling with these petty things. So I sat down and I did my own research. Praying sermons of Joshua Selman, Pastor Joshua Selman, Complete Deliverance. I listened to that thing. Then there's this movie also by this man of God, Altis, right? So I watched that movie also. I think I'll put a link. That movie just explained a lot of things, the kind of prayers you pray. I started. It was going off, on and off, on and off. Then the Complete Deliverance by Pastor Joshua Selman, part one, part two, part three. I downloaded it on my like YouTube download. I was listening to it constantly every day, morning, night. I can literally recite that whole sermon for you. I did my research. I got something has to be missing. God cannot lie, right? So if I'm doing everything God says, I'm going for deliverances, correct deliverances, we're living rightfully, living pure, living holy life. Why is this thing refusing to go? So everything there is a beginning and there is an end. And I know the scriptures, well, I believe it, I profess it, I speak it. Why am I not saying what God is saying? Why does it seem like this thing is abusing the power of God in my life, this demon? So I told myself, no, something will change. Three things, either one of the three things is going to happen. Either I'll pray to the extent that Satan will be tired of hearing, like Satan will be so tired that this guy is always disturbing me, saying like die by fire, praying fire prayers against me, and he'll leave me alone. Or number two, I'll pray to the extent that God will be so tired of me disturbing him every day that he'll be like, let me just deliver, let me send angels to grant this girl her desires or deliver this girl. Or the third one will be that I'll pray to the extent that I'll get tired. So one of them, and I told myself that me getting tired or giving up is not an option because I cannot allow Satan win over my life. No, there's purpose, there's prophecy over my life. There are things I have to do for God. I remember telling my friend and I was like, there are giants in the land for us to go and devour, to go and to fight for Jesus. There are things we have to do for Jesus, and we are still battling with these small demons. Like no, okay. So I told myself that no, something must change. The Bible, I think was it Esau, like when you're tired, you break his yoke off your neck. So I was like, when I'm tired, that yoke will be broken. So I started praying. I remember going on YouTube, checking for videos of people who had God had delivered from this thing, just to encourage myself in the faith. I think I only saw one woman. I think she was a Ghanaian but she's living in the States. She's even married and she was saying a whole lot. And I said, okay, prayer. My deliverance, deliverance. I'll fall down, roll this one, that one. Until later, God started revealing the source of this thing to me through dreams, right? Sometimes He will speak words to me also. So he started showing me where this thing came from. Apparently, some ancestral transaction went on generations before I was born, and so prayers, ancestral, and like I started praying prayers into my foundations, a whole lot of prayers. Let me be honest, the prayer I tire myself at some point, but I continue praying. I became so determined that morning, afternoon, night. Sometimes I can pray 6 times a day, and God decided to show me mercy. So I remember one advice I would like to give is that when you have a problem, don't sit down one place and say, oh, this or that. God has generals, God has people, God has genuine men of God and women of God that they can just give you like one, how should I put it, one instruction like this, do this, fast this way, godly based instructions, so please. And the thing that looks like a mountain before you will just become very, very plain. So don't just sit down and say, oh, this, pray. Pray. So I remember and tell people, oh, this like genuine people, not everybody. You ask God before you talk to somebody. So I remember one day we prayed, I think it was on a Sunday, and I was so determined that my deliverance was coming that day. And don't limit God. It didn't happen when I got frustrated. I said, I'm not coming to the church again. But there was someone I used to work with when going home. He was also in my church. I'd never discussed anything with him before. But I was telling him that I'm tired, I'm going to a prayer mountain. Because I don't know why I always believe if I go to a mountain and pray, God meets people on the mountain top. Something must change. Like, so that was my last option, right? I said, okay, I'll go to a mountain and pray. I just told him that they won't see me in church for like the whole of January and February or so. The whole of January, right? So I told him that. He was like, what's the problem? I told him. I was like, this is what you're going through. That he has a prayer, he has a spiritual mother, a church where he'll take me to a prayer mountain actually, where I could go and pray and I will see a change. And I'm like, I'm like, you know me, I don't go to any place. And then again, if I had gone and I prayed about it anyways. He told me that I went home, prayed. I wanted to go. Finances became a problem, a whole lot. But when I was about giving up, God said go. And once I was going, I had this peace. The place is very, 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 very far. It's far from Accra, more than 6 hours drive. So I took the bus with him. We went, we got to the church. It's a prophetess. She's like a prophetess, a woman who God is using mightily, an old woman. And this woman, like where the eye is not even like in the city, this is like a remote area. My dear, you have to go and stand, like it's a mountain actually, so you have to go and stand at one spot before you get to the internet. We went there, she just said, let's pray. We started praying, and I was crying. Why am I crying? I don't know. But I just felt God's presence heavily there. I went there and I thought that, oh, I'll pray pata 1 week, 2 weeks. My dear, I did not know. We started the prayers. They pray morning, afternoon, night, midnight, every day midnight we pray there. So we started praying. When I went there, I started having dreams. So also don't always trust your dream 100%, because one thing I learned is that demons use our dreams. Satan can use your dream, pervert your dream, and use it against you. That was what started happening. So I started having negative dreams whereby I would see people telling, what am I doing here? This place is an aquatic place. I should leave. When I read my Bible and God speaks to me, God tells me to stay. What is happening? At some point, I felt so uncomfortable, like, let me leave, let me leave. I left after 2 weeks. I got home and God told me that I should go back. God told me to go back. Like I was like, when I was leaving, I said, I'm not coming here. Maybe the place, because I don't understand. I went back eventually. Then we started prayers. Deliverance started, and the prophetess was, I don't know. God just gave me favor in her sight. Like she just liked me. She was like, you're a good person. God is. I want you because your destiny is connected to helping people. A whole lot of things. I'm not going to that. But I pray. I'm praying for you. I want God to deliver you by the grace of God. Me, I have no power. It's just God. So let's pray. Add the little faith that you have, add it to mine, and let's pray together and let God will do something. I know my God that He won't fail me. I'm like, this woman. And people will come and be giving testimonies. And yo, I hear. But they giving their own testimony, waiting for assignment. So I feel let it happen to me. So let me give my own testimony too. So we went the prayers, encouragement. It wasn't easy because we started prayers and everything. God started delivering me there a whole lot of stuff. Like I heard God clearly. I had encounters. A whole lot of things happened there. Then I was about leaving, and something we had prayed about came back again. One of the problem, and that is not about spirit spouses. You think it has gone. Sometimes to leave you for a season and come back again, and sometimes they frustrate they've made God look small in our eyes, because you pray about this and they'll come back. You pray about this and they'll come back. And mine was so bad at some point I used to feel rings on my finger. When I came back, God had a lot of messages, told me a lot of things that He wanted me to do, including some of this things people see me doing now. And so I came back, prayers. So the spirit still came back. It wasn't only that I went there for, but I thank God I went there, increased my prayer life, it made me see God in a different way. I learned from this prophetess a lot. She's an old lady, a very old woman. She's a woman of God. She's not. Let me just call her prophetess. I saw the humility of God. If you see, there's a pattern between you see when you see someone like Pastor Iya Adeboye, the pastors of old, the humility they have when it comes to God. This woman would kneel down, like like become like a babe in front of Christ, crying, begging God for mercy. And that was another thing I learned. The way she sees God mighty and asks God for mercy, like, God, I'm just flesh and blood. I don't have any power. If I live here today, if you take me today, it is your ground. You created this place for healing. Heal your people. Let no one come here and receive shame when they are going back. Every night. And what I'm talking about is every night. And I'm like, wow. I was moved by it. Let me not lie to you. And I home, and a lot of things had stopped even prior to me going there from MFM there. The whole sex and the dream thing stopped, but I knew that there was still a pattern of certain things, right? They hadn't got the rings. I was still feeling it a lot. Sometimes I would see it. So I came back and told my pastor everything. We started prayers again, we continued prayers, and I went to church one day. God decided that He's going to deliver me. We went there, prayed, then there was a whole lot of things that were coming up, deliverance, serious deliverance came up. I came home, I felt normal. I came home, slept, and when I slept, that was when the whole deliverance happened. And you know, I eventually saw, like, yeah, everything had ended. And so I used to have dreams, like I said, whereby I would say, like, family, like I had a family. When we started praying, and this spirit there are telling me that I was his wife and we had children, and I'm becoming a terror to him. I'm like, nigga, who are you? And then I would beat them. Sometimes they would send things, I'll send it, like I would destroy it literally, right? Attacks were coming during the deliverance period. This I'm talking about almost 2 years plus, or if not, or a year plus. But the day that God delivered me, that I had this encounter with God, and that encounter is something I cannot share with anybody, but it was something else. What I noticed was that after the deliverance, like obviously the spirit was speaking and a whole lot, but one thing I noticed was that I had like this, it was not a dream, it was more like a vision, right? Whereby I saw like a house, and apparently I had been living in the house. You are here on earth, you are single, but in the spirit realm, you have a whole family. You're living like I'd been living in the house. Why I'm saying that because I saw my pictures on the wall of the house. So you look like a woman who had been living in a house, right? And the pictures were there, and there was a man with two demons. He himself is a demon himself, and he was, after the whole deliverance happened that night, it was an all-night service. I came home, I slept, so I was sleeping in the morning, and I just saw that I was wearing drink in the dream, and I gave the person the dream, and I was tearing like wedding certificate. I was burning things. I was like, I usually was divorcing the spirit. I threw the ring and I said, I'm never coming here again. And the man was holding the two demons, whatever, and he left. All of them were all scared of me. They left, and I left the place. Then I knew that deliverance was still happening. And when deliverance come, you will know. Nobody will tell you that deliverance has come. You will know. You will know. There will be just too many signs. There will be just too many encounters for you to know. There will be this peace that you will feel. The things you felt around you, the presence, you will not feel it anymore. The rings to go, and it might not happen at once. Sometimes the sex in the dream will happen first. It will stop happening. There are other things that happens, and these same things also cause childlessness. A lot of you start noticing that things will start changing. One of those people that they used to feed in the dream, you see you stop eating their food, at least not as much. Some you see yourself going to toilet or vomiting, or a whole lot of things will happen during deliverance, or you would know. There's no way you'll be delivered and you will know. Something I was warned about is that Bible says when a demon spirit is casted out, you go around looking for dry land. If he doesn't find any place, you say, "Let me come back to my home." So especially things with that came on you as a child, as from a child, those things like that were on this, that was on someone for it as since your childhood days, right? It's mostly difficult when it goes. Sometimes they would like to come back, so you have to make sure you are always on fire or for God. Anytime you feel like you're getting cold, my dear, start fasting, start praying, because the devil will want to come back, and when he's coming back, he won't come alone. He'll come with 7 more stronger spirits than himself, so they're not going to be 8. So make sure that you're always on fire for God. You're always praying. You always depend on God. Tell God that God is me and you, and be determined. Live a holy life. Don't open back the door of sin. If you let me tell you the truth of the matter, if you go back after God has delivered you from this thing, you go and have premarital sex, you are not married, you go and have sex, you go and fornicate, you open that door through unforgiveness or anything, Satan will come back again, because they are looking for a way to come back to your life, and there's a reason why they are there. So when God eventually does that, be careful to always live a very holy life. Make sure you stay with God. Make sure He's the only one you serve. Make sure you ask for help from Him at every single opportunity. God, help me, I can't do this on my own. And also, if you wish, give a testimony, because then it encourages other people. People know that God still delivers people. Whatever seems like this problem that has been there for years and years and years and is refusing to answer to God, God is still in the business of healing people. God is still in the business of delivering people. There is no battle, there is no demon that is as strong as God, and that is our confidence. When you pray, also believe that God answers you. He's hearing you. If it does not answer, the answer has not come back down yet, continue praying until pray until something happens. That body must go. I pray that everyone is blessed by this video. I pray that it reaches whoever it needs to reach. I pray that God uses it as an avenue to heal His people, to deliver His people. I thank God for how far He has brought me. I thank Him for delivering me. I thank Him for the people He brought into my life, my pastors, my everyone that God used to help me, to deliver me. I pray that God strengthens them. God shows them that He's God forever. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.